Hi, my name's Don. My family and I own Ure Outdoors. As a result of owning outfitting business, we find ourselves cooking for people throughout the year. Own an in-ground pool, we have lots of kids. Found ourselves even cooking for a wedding this year. As a result of what used to be known as the beer can chicken, we found problems. One problem was with a chicken on the can was tippy on the grill. The other problem we found was essentially the steam that was generated went to the hole in the top of the can through the hole or the neck of the chicken and essentially did little to penetrate the chicken. So what we did was design an alternative. We like to refer to it as beer can chicken on steroids. Essentially what we did was took a piece of black iron pipe, drilled holes in it, put a cap on it that would essentially seal around the neck of the chicken, creating or forcing the steam from the chicken or steam from the product to penetrate the chicken. We also put a heavy, large base on the bottom that creates stability on the grill. As you can see, it's much more stable. We market these for $15 a piece, which they will last you a lifetime, I promise you. Unless you do something silly like leave it out and it rusts. But if you do proper seasoning, much like you would a black cast iron skillet, I just can't see that ever happening. And if it does, bring it back. Call me. I don't think I'll have a problem sending you another one. So first step in cooking with the Ure Chicken Cooker is that we need to season it. You can see I've done some welding. Oftentimes they use an oil for shipping to avoid rusting during storage or shipping. So we need to cook all that off so it don't get inside your chicken. And the way to do that is to get it hot. We can do that a few ways. I found the best for us is to use a charcoal cooker. Or you can even use your fireplace. You can build a nice warm fire with a nice bed of coals in the bottom. Throw this baby back down in there, and make sure you have some tall. You can even let the fire go out and let it cool off. It don't matter. You may have to reheat it if you let it get too cold to apply the oils to it to, get that black cast iron look to it. But any way that you can find to heat it consistently for say an hour, half hour, will be sufficient to get the seasoning into it. And the oil's cooked off of it. I've used a propane. I've used charcoal, being my favorite. 'Cause, I don't know, it just seems to add some kind of I don't know. I just feel better about it. You can even do it in your oven for that matter, but I caution you, especially with the propane barbecuer, to not let the barbecuer get too hot. If the barbecuer gets too hot, then you can lose some of the enamel on the outside of your barbecuer and things like that. So, but again, fireplace, pit barbecue, pit fire, any of those kind of things that you can put that thing in when you got a nice bed of coals, I think will create an environment that will burn all that off and give you that seasoning that you're looking to achieve. So I'm going to demonstrate for you what I like to do. And I've seen these things red hot as a result of this, and that's great. That's getting her plenty hot. Make sure the lid's loose, not tight. If it's tight on there, and you heat it, you might have difficulty getting the lid off. So just make sure it's just finger tight on there. Set that baby in the grill. I'm going to do 2 of them today, as I'm going to use 2 of them today to cook a couple chickens for my family. So place those babies in the grill. In the bottom of your charcoal cooker. Just any briquettes will do. I'll pour a few in there. And if you want to cook a steak while you're doing this, fine, but let this get hot first. Let them oils and things cook off there before you start to do any cooking of any kind on there. I don't know if the oils would be harmful. The fumes from them oils let's not find out the hard way. Let's go ahead and get them cooked off. I like to make sure I have plenty briquettes between the two. You know, if you're doing a couple at a time, which we're a family of 5. If we cook one large chicken, it seems to be enough for our family, as long, you know, with other side dishes and things. Depending on how busy they've been. If they've been real busy, they'll eat a chicken and a half. So, so stack these babies, these briquettes up as high as you can, up around the cooker, like so. It might be a bit of a pyro. After getting this hot, I've added briquettes to it in the past. I've done up to 4 at a time. You want to keep it hot, real hot, visibly hot if you can. You know, hour or so. Again, make sure that those caps are not tight. If they are, you'll have some difficulty getting them off. You might even need to use a pipe wrench and a vise to get them off. So make sure they're just finger tight. Get your briquettes nice and hot. I leave the door open on mine just because I'm not cooking. I'm not worried about retaining any kind of flavors or anything like that. So get them hot. Leave them. Like I say, 30 minutes is probably enough, but I like to be on the safe side. You know, an hour is great. So it'll be great. Now that you've got your chicken cooker seasoned, you can see it's black, you cleaned it up, it's no longer hot, you sprayed it with vegetable oil, you're ready to move on to prepping your chicken. Now remember, when you get a whole chicken, oftentimes the heart, neck, and liver and other parts are inside. Be sure to get those out. Make sure you get everything. Reach way up in there. Sometimes I've had them hearts and gizzards and things stuck way up in the neck. So you want to make sure you get all that out of there. Okay. Next, what I like to do on the back of the chicken, you see these things here, these are often just fat. So take yourself a good sharp knife and trim that off there. That's just stuff that's going to wind up at the bottom of your pan you're not going to eat anyway. So you might as well just cut that stuff off there. Like so. Once you get those things cut off there, you should have a nice big opening in the bottom of the chicken there. So now the chicken's ready. Because I've got a daughter that likes spicy foods, I like to make some accommodations for her. Here I made a mixture of onion, jalapeno, and habanero pepper. I put it in the fry pan and with a little bit of butter and fried it up to, you know, to soften it so that the flavors will come out easier. You just go ahead and put them right in, take the lid off your cooker and just place some of that down in there. Now if you're just wanting to make regular beer can chicken, at this point just put whatever beer you're drinking, or well, not that you would be drinking and cooking, put a little chicken or beer in the cooker, put your cap on and put the chicken on, you're ready to go. But being as I can, I like to do some other things other than just regular beer can chicken, and I've got lots of compliments for my chicken. So, you know, probably a quarter of a cube of butter Just poke that old girl right down in there like so. Put your lid on, your cap on the cooker here. Get the threads lined up. Again, you don't want to screw that down tight. You don't need to be tight. Just down on that rascal. And place your chicken right over the top. You want to push that thing down in there so it kind of seals. That cap will seal around the neck of the chicken, like so. You see how stable that is? You're not going to have any of those problems you've had in the past with beer can chicken just tipping all over. You can't get it to stand up. So another little recipe I'll share with you that it's a kind of a basic recipe, but it seems to be the most popular. Again, you want to make sure you get the innards out of them chickens. Otherwise, you'll have liver cooked chicken, and you may have some guests that liver is not their favorite. And the whole chicken's likely to taste like that. Here I've got a chicken with how many hearts? 4. So again, let's cut this extra fat off there. All that is just stuff that's going to be in the bottom of your pan anyway, so might as well just get it off there. Like so. Here we are, opened up. Make sure that's nice and clear out of there. Like so. Now, if I'm doing butter chicken, butter garlic, I'll use probably almost half of a cube of butter. I'll use this spoon anyway. It probably has some habanero on it, but, which I don't care for. Ketchup is too hot for me. So this just regular jarred garlic. I have pressed my own, but for the sake of this video, I make it speedy. I'm just going to use regular jarred chopped garlic here. You can get it at any grocery store. Okay, and butter. I'll use half this cube, but I like to cut it into quarters, just because it makes it easier to get into the cooker, like so here. Like so. Apply your lid. Again, you don't want that baby tight. You want it just screwed down on there, just enough that she's on there nice and solid. Put your bird on there. She's on there nice and square again. Here we are, nice and solid. So there we have 2 chickens ready to go. Once you have prepared your cookers, you've seasoned them, that's all there is to it, other than putting it on the smoker. We have plans. We will be making a couple of different versions of these cookers. One being small enough for Cornish game hens, grouse, maybe duck. The next version being large enough for, say, turkey or geese. The other thing we're going to experiment a little bit with, and I'll get back to you with, is cooking squirrel on the small version, squirrel and or rabbit. So we enjoy all types of game that we harvest here in Oregon, and so we're going to try to experiment a little bit with those 2 staples. So, all right, we're ready to take these babies out to the smoker and get these babies cooking. Okay, now that you've got your chickens out and next to the smoker, we're ready to put them in. I'll show you a couple things that I've learned, over the past year or 2 of doing this regularly. One is that it really helps to have a squirt bottle. I've taken just a regular water bottle and drilled some small holes in it to give it kind of a spray pattern there. You can see just regular tap water in it. When my chips start getting too hot where they are smoking heavily, like they might even ignite, I keep them moist. I even keep the drain pan at the bottom pretty moist, because what happens is the fats from the chicken will cook out of the chicken, get down in the cook pan and actually burn and give it a kind of a bitter taste. So I try to keep that drain pan cool as well with this. I found it works really well. A squirt bottle or anything like that works well, but this is what I use. It holds enough water, applies water fast, so I don't have to mess with it. Sometimes I'll be running 2 or 3 smokers and cookers at a time, so it helps for me to be able to attend